Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Moore and today I'll be presenting on industrial relations in the Netherlands. This presentation explores how Dutch labor unions developed historically, how they function today, and how government policy and globalization continue to shape union management relations. The Netherlands is a particularly interesting case because it maintains high collective bargaining coverage despite relatively low union membership. Understanding how this system works gives us insight into why it has remained stable and resilient over time. In this presentation, I'll cover six major areas: the historical development of labor unions in the Netherlands, key labor union statistics, the major labor union federations, the major labor legislation, the government's role in labor relations, and the impact of globalization on union management relations. Together, these topics show how the Dutch system evolved and why it remains one of the most coordinated labor relations models in Europe. Industrial relations in the Netherlands are built on a foundation of sector level collective bargaining, strong institutional coordination, and active government involvement. Dutch unions rely heavily on collective agreements, called CAOs, to maintain high bargaining coverage. Even as union membership has declined, the structure of the system ensures that most workers remain protected. At the same time, employer strategies, workplace dynamics, and globalization have reshaped traditional union management relations. Instead of conflict driven bargaining, the Netherlands have moved toward a more cooperative, consensus based model. Understanding these developments help explain why the Dutch system has remained stable even during economic and social change. Historical development of labor unions. Historical development of labor unions. Early history. Labor unions in the Netherlands have roots going back to the mid 19th century. In 1861, Dutch book printers and diamond cutters founded the first labor unions. In 1869, the General Union of Dutch Employees was established. In 1871, the Anti-Socialist Union of Dutch Workers was formed, showing early ideological divisions. In 1909, industrialization and population growth accelerated union activity. In 1930, the Great Depression caused unemployment to spike, increasing the need for worker representation. These early unions were fragmented, often divided by religion or political ideology, which later shaped the pillarized structure of Dutch society. Historical development, mid-century. In 1933, the Agricultural Crisis Act created the Agricultural Fund. In 1940, during the German occupation, Dutch unions were dissolved. By 1950, unions were reconstructed and reorganized along religious and ideological pillars. In 1975, a major merger formed the Federation of Dutch Trade Unions, the FNV. In 1982, the Wassenaar Agreement marked a shift toward wage moderation and cooperative labor relations. These developments laid the groundwork for modern Dutch labor relations system. The modern era. By the late 20th century, union density began to decline. In 1990, union membership was still relatively strong, but by 2000, density had fallen to around 25%. In 2010, the Netherlands experienced depillarization and a shift toward third way ideology, which emphasized flexibility and market oriented reforms. By 2020, the union density had dropped to 13.8%, yet collective bargaining coverage remained high. This contrast, low membership but high coverage, is one of the defining features of the Dutch model. Labor statistics, union density. This graph shows union density trends from 1955 to 2025. Historical estimates show that density was much higher in the mid 20th century. By the 2000s, membership had fallen significantly, and by 2023, the OECD reported a mid-year density of 13.8%. Despite this decline, the Dutch system remains effective because bargaining coverage is maintained through sector-level agreements and government extension mechanisms. The Federation membership chart shows membership in three major union federations in 2023. The FNV, which has 873,000 members, the CNV has 199,000 members, and the VCP has 156,000 members. Even though membership numbers have declined over time, these federations remain influential because of their role in national bargaining and social dialogue. The bargaining coverage chart shows the collective bargaining coverage remains consistently high, around 73%, even though union membership is low. This is because the government can declare sectoral agreements generally binding, extending them to all employers in the sector. Eurofound reports that extensions add about 13 percentage points to coverage. This mechanism is essential to maintaining the Dutch model. Major labor union federations in the Netherlands. Major labor unions. FNV, or the Federation of Dutch Trade Unions, was formed in 1975 through a major merger. It is the largest and most influential federation with 873,000 members. The FNV operates both as a confederation and as a single large union. It plays a major role in national bargaining and participates in the Social and Economic Council, or SER, and the Labor Foundation. The CNV, or the Christian National Trade Union Federation, has roots in Protestant Christian traditions. In 2024, CNV reorganized into a single union. It has 199,000 members and represents workers in sectors such as healthcare, education, and public services. CNV also has specialized sectors for seniors, youth, and the self-employed and workers with disabilities. The VCP, or the Trade Union Federation for Professionals, was founded in 1974. It represents 156,000 members and includes more than 50 affiliated unions that focus on specific professions such as engineers, managers, and technical specialists. Modern labor legislation. Early laws. 1937 Collective Labor Agreements Act established the legal basis for CAOs. 1969 Minimum Wage and Minimum Holiday Allowance Act requires a statutory minimum wage and an 8% holiday allowance. 1980 Working Conditions Act sets health and safety standards. These laws ensure that collective agreements operate within a clear legal framework. Modern labor legislation, later laws. 1996 Working Hours Act regulates working hours, breaks, night shifts, and child labor. 2004 Equal Treatment Act prohibits age discrimination. 2015 Work and Security Act standardizes severance pay and required employers to justify dismissals. Together, these laws support fair working conditions and reinforce the collective bargaining system. The Dutch government plays a powerful and unique role in labor relations. According to Eurofound, the government can declare collective agreements generally binding, meaning all employers in a sector must follow them. This extension mechanism adds about 13 percentage points to bargaining coverage. As a result, the Netherlands maintains around 73% coverage despite low union density. The government also sets minimum standards for wages, working hours, and safety, and regulates the rules for bargaining, renewals, and extensions. The impact of globalization on union management relations. Globalization has significantly influenced Dutch labor relations. According to Van der Meer and colleagues, 2004, decision making in multinational companies has become more internationalized. Human resource practices have shifted towards performance pay, individual contracts, and flexible employment. Bargaining has become more decentralized at the company level. Overall, globalization has reduced traditional union leverage within individual firms. However, it has also encouraged unions to strengthen transnational coordination and rely on institutional frameworks like sectoral bargaining and governmental extensions to maintain influence. In conclusion, the Netherlands has played a major role in shaping labor union rights and industrial relations in Europe. Its system demonstrates how strong institutions, coordinated bargaining, and active government involvement can create stability even during economic and social change. The major labor federations, FNV, CNV, and VCP, continue to represent workers effectively. And although globalization and technological change present challenges, the Dutch model has shown resilience by adapting while maintaining its core principles. Thank you for listening.